Some notable recent developments for the Olympics. A former Olympic champion is elected president of the International Olympic Committee. Japan snags the future Olympics, and an ancient sport wrestled its way back into the lineup. And of course, to talk about all of this is joining me now, as usual, Sunny Young. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Imran.
Tell me something, Sunny. The sport was there for the previous Olympics, and now they're planning to take it out. What's going on? They're confused about it?
About 7 months ago, Imran, the International Olympic Committee decided to drop wrestling from the program of the 2020 Games. They weren't happy with the leadership of international wrestling, and after an intense lobbying effort by wrestling officials, they were able to get back in the Games. There will be no break. We'll see wrestling in 2016 in Rio de Janeiro, as well as the 2020 Games.
Okay, but what about the countries who might be affected by this, positive or negative? How would that come into play?
Many countries have national wrestling teams. The sport is very popular in Europe. Here in the United States, we have a very strong wrestling program. And I think overall, most countries are very pleased that it will remain in the Games.
Okay, another interesting thing happening is the election of the new IOC president, German Thomas Bach, a former fencer at the Games in 1976. What does his election mean for the Olympics overall?
Thomas Bach is 59 years old. He ran on a platform of more diversity in the Olympic movement. You mentioned his athletic background. I think that was a positive. General reaction has been very positive to his election. He succeeds Jacques Rogge, a Belgian doctor, and he was in power for about 12 years. We'll see whether Bach remains that long.
Does it help to be a former athlete, to be playing such a major role in the team?
I think it helped his campaign to be the new IOC president. He has an understanding of sports and competition.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about the process, the electoral process. How do they select or elect these officials?
The International Olympic Committee has 104 voting members. They have to receive a majority vote to win election. Historically, the presidential election process has been dominated by Europeans, Bach being a German. In fact, if we look at the history books, the only non-European was an American by the name of Avery Brundage. He was president of the IOC, I think, during the 1970s. But Europeans have really dominated that position.
What about Asians?
No Asians. There have been no Asians as presidents of the IOC.
And then finally, of course, good news for Japan too. The IOC decided to award the 2020 Summer Games to Tokyo. The last time the city hosted the Olympics was in 1964. Was this decision kind of expected?
I'm not sure if it was expected. The two other candidate cities were Madrid in Spain, Istanbul,
yeah.
And all three cities had some negatives attached to their bid. With Tokyo, it was concern over fallout from the Fukushima nuclear plant,
yeah.
And they were able to ease those concerns. And once again, Tokyo will be hosting the Olympics.
Okay, thank you so much for joining us. VOA's Sunny Young talking about sports with On Assignment.
Thank you, Imran.
Thanks.